Welcome back to Ys Origin, where I am once again playing as Hugo for the final story. And, you know, we're playing, we're getting some good old time. Hugo is, as I said in my other videos, Hugo is really fast, but he is kind of squishy. And so this gameplay is going to be, I might fail a lot more, but it serves as more of a challenge, and I like that with Toal. So, yeah. Not much else to say right now. We will get his first ability in this episode, because it's quite soon into the tower, but, you know. My nose is a bit stuffy. Darn allergies. It's not really allergies, it's just, sinuses. My sinuses suck. And, yeah. That is, that little sliding move that you saw there is that weird move that I could never, like, reliably pull off with either Hugo or Unica, where they do an ability and then, you know, like you're supposed to use your ability and push forward at the exact same time, or use an attack and press forward at the exact same time, but I could never pull it off. But yeah. So yeah, we now have the Cerulean Fan. And with the Cerulean Fan, we get the Godspeed skill. And once we get an emerald, we'll be able to charge that skill. But now we can dash. And that dash will do damage and allow us to get behind enemies, so it's harder for them to retaliate against us. Honestly, it's one of his best skills. And even without any upgrades, it recharges extremely fast. It doesn't use a whole lot of energy. And this puzzle is actually different than the puzzle that we got with Hugo and Unica. Unica and Hugo, it was just a straight line. Toal, you gotta do some work. Now, even if we had the charged version, I failed that there. Even if you had the charged version of this, we'd still have to take this path, because the charged version doesn't have the, I guess, correct. I don't even know what I'm saying. The charged version of that ability doesn't get us, won't get us all the way. But we only come back here once. And, yeah. It's no big deal. It's not exactly hard. It's just there to teach us about our new ability and how it can work. So I continuously level up, and we head this way, where a small mini cutscene-like ability happens. Yes, even Toal gets trapped in the demon trap that is set up by the demons. Yeah. Exactly. We get the feeling that Zava doesn't really like Toal. He kills her creations, or whatever they are. I don't know if they're her creations or not, but they're her pets, basically. And we're going to strengthen my armor. So yeah. Onwards and upwards, as they say. I'm going to save. As you can see, my other 2 LP saves there. But yeah, Toal becomes quite fun once you get this ability. It's quite fun to dash all around the place, getting on the opposite sides of enemies and such. Yeah. And then you can just spam it to speed really far. Yeah. I really like Toal's gameplay. I usually like the tankier characters, but with Toal's gameplay it just feels fun to dash around and such. If I would give you any character that I'd say definitely play, it would be Toal, but of course he has the true ending, and you can't get him until you play as one of the other two, so a little bit out of luck there if you want to play him right off the bat. And then if you want to know what character to play as before you unlock Toal, then kind of watch the abilities and such of my other playthrough, toting my other playthroughs. But should watch those probably to see, you know, how you think that character would feel, and you know, if you'd want to play them instead. Well, them first. But I definitely recommend Toal, not just because of the story, but because he's actually, I feel, a lot more fun to play than the other two. Not saying that the other two aren't fun, I just have more fun with Toal than the other two. I'd say probably Unica's the next more fun, simply because once you get the bomb with Hugo, it's pretty much all you need to do. Even if, you know, it doesn't do too much damage, it's still it might not do a lot of damage to some enemies, but it's still like the safest thing and all that. Whereas Unica, even her most powerful thing, her most powerful ability, it doesn't make her the safest she could possibly be. And so you need to switch up a lot more with her. And I'll most likely be switching up a lot with Toal as well, once we get his other abilities. I do like using the abilities a lot. I do find them more satisfying than just using your regular attacks. But, you know. Yeah, not much else to say. But now we have an emerald! Yeah! With this emerald, we can charge our ability. But first, you need to hit the switch. Once we've fully charged it, we just get a longer dash that does about the same amount of damage, but it goes farther, and it has a wider area. It's not really that terribly useful. There will be a puzzle where we will use it later, but I don't really like to charge the dash that much unless there's like no enemies around. With like Unica and such, I intentionally charge abilities even when enemies are around, so I could get the best effect from a lot of the abilities. Toal, not gonna charge the dash ability a lot. Godspeed, whatever you want to call it. But we have found the blue crest and a rue. And this rue is going to help us the same way that the rues did in the other campaigns. They're going to give us pretty much the same items, except for at some points, I think. They're quite similar. Of course, some rues gave things to someone else, and you know, everything's all pretty much the same except for some specific items. You'll see as we go forward. But the Roo is once again hungry, and we have to give it a Rotafruit. And it'll give us a Claria ore. And unlike before, we don't have a search party to go to, so if we want to equip Claria ore, how do we do it? Well, we'll find out when we find another separate piece of Claria ore. But that won't be for a while. That will be in Flooded Prison. But we're going to teleport back, and in the next episode, we're going to fight the mini-boss of Wailing Blue.